Hey everybody, welcome back to House of Grey Rabbit. I am your host, as always, Grey Rabbit 80, and Prime.
How y'all do?
I just couldn't think of an intro, really. We've been doing an experiment on top of experiments. So usually we talk about one film per video. We've been known to do double features that you guys have seen before, where we do two with an intermission in between. Tonight, we're going to talk about a trilogy. And what a trilogy it is. Tonight we will be talking about Nigel Bach's cult group of movies, I guess you could call it. We're talking about Bad Ben. We'll be right back.
There it is. Not bad for a sheriff's sale, huh?
Moving on to Bad Ben. Technically, we're talking about 3 of 4 films because the 4th film is not technically part of the storyline. It's an attempt to retell the storyline. We're talking about Steelmanville Road, which is the prequel, Bad Ben, and then Badder Ben. Basic story is a guy named Tom Riley. Tom is a guy who wants to buy a home and flip it to make money. And he comes across a very nice house
it's nice
at a sheriff's sale. They did not allow him to take a look inside the house before he made his bid. So whatever happens on the inside of the house, that's his.
Why wouldn't they take their personal belongings with them?
And when he gets in it, it is full of stuff. And the first thing he does is he takes down the Lord's Prayer and a cross off the wall. Because, quote unquote, he doesn't want it looking like Billy Graham lives there.
And he also gets rid of the Bible.
Oh yeah, there's a giant Bible. There's the biggest Bible I've ever seen. And he always says that. Like in every iteration of the movie, he says, that's the biggest Bible I've ever seen. So he moves in, and where he finds out that the other tenants were murdered in the home. And apparently, New Jersey is a state that you don't get told that when you buy a new home. You don't get told that people were murdered in the house. So, strange things begin to occur, and sooner or later, he finds out that there are cameras literally everywhere all over the house. So, whoever was there before had surveillance put in, so-and-so. So, he starts using these cameras to document this craziness that's happening and everything. And there's a lot of other things that go on, like, for instance, like we find a drawing of a family, mom, dad, good Ben,
and Bad Ben.
And Bad Ben. And Bad Ben seems to be over somewhere to the left. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that Bad Ben's in the basement, right? So, to make a long story short, after dealing with everything, Tom is then dragged into the basement by Bad Ben. Now, at this point, most people will say, well, then you went to the sequel, which is Badder Ben, right? No. Then we go back to Steelmanville Road, which is the prequel. The prequel, which is about the 2 people that had the house originally. This is where the movie starts going off directly, to the left. Because we understand that these cameras are in every room, right? The camera angles are fixed for the first movie. And so if you see, like, a scene here, then the camera would always be there. And it would always be this kind of shot. But for some reason in this movie, they felt the need to, like, then change the camera angle to here. So, like, you get this idea of, like, who put in another camera, and what was the need, and I don't know.
Bad.
Stop it.
You learn, you learn about Matt and Rachel, the original occupants of the home, and how her mother, who was her birth mother that gave her up for adoption, left the house to her. Don't know how that works in real life. I'm not adopted, neither are you, so I'm not sure. But I don't know how birth mothers leave stuff to children. I don't know, it's too much. They move into the house. She believes that her mother's spirit is inhabiting the house. There's also another spirit of a young man named Elijah, who appears as a cardboard cutout a lot. Like, you know those apps where you take a picture and then you can insert a ghost into it?
That's it?
That's Elijah. They also talk backwards, apparently, when you're a ghost. That's what happens. And no one ever thinks to reverse the audio until the end of the movie.
And don't forget about the really dumb medium.
I just was about to say Mona's name. Mona is a woman who in real life is an actress that can't act her way out of a paper bag. She acts literally like she was in an 8th grade play, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. That overacting that children kind of do when they're given a play or something like that to be in.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. She tells Rachel, after numerous times it comes here, that Elijah is actually her half-brother.
Yeah.
And she is the last of the Leeds family. Now, and if you do Wikipedia the Leeds family, you'll find out that this is where the Jersey Devil comes from. Mama Leeds, I don't know, Mother Leeds. She had 13 children, and the 13th one, the pains and everything were so great that she said that she would not have a 13th child unless it was the devil himself that gave it to her. And without making a long story short or anything, she basically says that the Jersey Devil
is her 13th child.
Well, we knew that, but she says the Jersey Devil is Rachel's brother.
Yeah.
And that he is coming to have sex with her because that's the only way he can continue his lineage.
Not your home. Well, I got news for you. It is my home.
Yes, people. He said that.
Do you see how that movie went like this and then went right back that way? Like, this was a ghost story that turned into this. We're not going to get too far off, though, because we've still got to move on. So Rachel is impregnated by the Jersey Devil, and then
fastest pregnancy.
Well, no, it lasts 9 months. It does, but the cameras get turned off because he doesn't want he wants privacy. So anyway, after 9 months, she gives birth after killing Styles. Yes, there's a character in this movie named Styles, who we figure has to be named after Teen Wolf. Like, Styles and Teen Wolf. Not Teen Wolf, Teen Wolf. Point, we're getting off course here.
She kills Styles.
So she kills Styles, and then she goes after Matt and kills him, and then commits suicide. Now, the thing about this movie is it sets up everything that we find when we watch Bad Ben. Like the knives in the storehouse, and like why certain items were there and stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem is the dog beds, and we'll get to that later. Because we still got to talk about Batter Ben.
Oh my God.
Oh, people, Batter Ben. So it turns out that in Batter Ben, this is our 3rd installment, Tom is not dead. Tom actually made it out. He escaped the house, and he has been living in a tent in the woods. And going to a convenience store every 3 or 4 days, I think.
3 times a day.
He went from being like bald with glasses, little hair on the back, and then like goatee.
Yeah.
And so a group of paranormal investigators find out that he's still alive by breaking into the house and stealing one of the cameras. So they see the footage of him alive. They go find the footage of him at a convenience store, which they then use some facial recognition software that I don't believe exists, because it's just dots and a circle. I like how when he was in the convenience store, he looked at the camera.
Yeah.
So just conveniently,
Yeah.
convenience store. Jokes. We got some.
Yes.
Moving on, though, they pay him money to come back to the house so they can do a one-night-only show. Because the realtors are coming in the morning, I guess, to try to sell the house or clean up or whatever.
Yeah.
And we get this attempt by them to recall the spirits back, which they do, which is dumb. And then they go through this whole thing, and there's a seance, and really to go through every little portion of it would just be mind-numbing, because literally it's really hard to watch. It's
bad.
It's bad.
Nah.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
bad.
In the end, they are all caught. Well, in the end, the paranormal team is caught and taken down to the basement for no reason other than to get them out of the shot, and then have Tom go around and unplug all the cameras. It doesn't matter, because why is he turning off the camera? I don't know. We'll tell that in the wrap up in a minute. The point of the entire thing is they soon figure out that there is a demon, and then there is Bad Ben, and Bad Ben is, of course, the New Jersey Devil, and basically they pit them against each other. That's how they end up escaping the house. Then they go outside. Tom decides that he's going to become a paranormal investigator and join the team, but he forgot his iPod and has to go get it.
Bad mistake. And
is then drugged down into the basement again by Bad Ben. He luckily escapes after Bad Ben removes all of his clothes. Yeah, we'll talk about that again in a minute. And then he escapes. And then we are greeted with a commercial basically pointing out that Tom Riley is now going into business as a professional paranormal investigator, which leads into a new web series, Tom Riley, Paranormal Investigator. Like, we're talking about real stuff here, people. You can find this set of movies on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, not that one, you can get these movies for free. And I tell you right now...
Don't watch them.
Well, I mean, first off, you have to understand that people see these films as amazing. And mostly it's the first one. Mostly it's just Bad Ben. Yeah. Because all the effects in these movies, except for Steelmanville, I gotta say it real slow like that, Steelmanville Road, those are visual effects.
Yeah. Everything
else is practical. And so it's really interesting to see, especially in Bad Ben, you have Nigel by himself, who's playing Tom.
Tom, yes.
Yeah. So Nigel, he's Tom. You have Nigel by himself for the entire film, except obviously someone is manipulating chairs, pulling doors open and shut, so on and so on. But it's done in such a way that it's nicely done. Now, there are times when you're like, okay, they've got to be hiding right behind that chair.
Yeah.
With like a piece of string, you know what I'm saying? It's fresh. It's
or
fresh.
Fishing wire or something.
Yeah, it's very fresh, and it's very intriguing to see someone use practical effects games. We don't get that. We have CGI everywhere, right? What happened was he made the first movie on a shoestring budget of $300.
Yes.
Yeah. Put it out, I guess, to Amazon and to other things. Got a cult following. Like, everybody loves Bad Ben. So then he turns around and makes the prequel, Steelmanville Road. See, I said it right that time. And Steelmanville Road just feels like it's forced. It just feels like someone tried too hard. And then you got Elijah, the paper ghost. There's the mom's voice that talks to him. Mona shows back, or Mona starts there. Mona is in that movie only. I'm not making a mistake here. And Mona's acting is horrible. And then the lead story, and I understand the movie was made in New Jersey, so the Jersey Devil's just a thing to go and do. You know, it's a thing.
If you're going to talk about the Jersey Devil, make the movie about the Jersey Devil, not just,
Right, and trying to explain away the paranormal stuff of the first film by saying, well, blah, blah, and then the Jersey Devil. And then it just felt also, watching it to me was a little bit painful because of the setups. Like I said, like the knives in the shed and everything. It's like you have to watch them set it up just like Tom finds it in Bad Ben.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little hard to believe. Like, it makes no sense why she takes all the knives but one, puts it in the box, and then she takes her little outfit or whatever and stuffs it in there. And then the baby picture is of Elijah, apparently. It's like, we tried to explain everything that Tom Riley came up with in the first movie in Stillmanville Road. I don't know. It's not my favorite of the three. And then
my favorite was Bad Ben.
Yeah, Bad Ben by far was the most intriguing to watch. Now, it wasn't great, but it wasn't.
It was more realistic.
Yeah, Stillmanville Road is just. Oh no! I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's
out of all the three actors in the movie, the wife and husband are the best two actors.
Yeah, they are for a movie that only contains three people. Well, Tom shows up at the end.
Yeah,
Tom shows up at the end, which ties it into the beginning of Bad Ben. But for the three people that are mainly the wife, the husband, and Mona, the couple are where it's at. That's where the acting's at.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes down to the last one, and keep in mind, we're not talking about Mandela Effect. I think we'll cover Mandela Effect later, because it's not technically part of the Bad Ben story. It's just like a retelling. But when it comes to Badder Ben, I don't know. Because at first I was like, okay, paranormal team.
Yeah.
And you got Tom's not dead. That could make sense. Because I read Tom was in this movie.
Yeah. And
if Tom had died in the first movie, how could he be in the third movie?
Okay.
You know? But Tom is not dead. Of course, it was nice to see Tom back. Tom, unfortunately, what fails with these movies, other than just Bad Ben, is the attempt to put humor into it. So you get this, like throughout the entire movie is this language, Language.
Oh yeah.
Whenever Tom opens his mouth, he has a tendency to say something he shouldn't, and they point out that he can't say it on television, and it aggravates him. Then when he decides later on that they're going to fight the demon, and he puts on his outfit, which is a piece of paper strung around his neck on a cord that
With
has
a
a
cross.
cross on it, a helmet that looks
And a
like
cane.
and the helmet looks like something like a bicycle helmet for a
Yeah.
kid, and a cane, and he walks around doing karate moves, and it's just a bunch of crap.
Yes.
Oh
My God.
my God. Well, they keep calling Smitty ugly names. There's just a lot of bad humor in this that wasn't necessary to make another movie. And unfortunately, it's full of it.
And then the fact that they show or attempt to show Rachel and her husband as ghosts.
Which were just fuzzy blobs.
Yeah.
And they showed up
For
one
like a
time.
second. And then they, it just...
Yeah, there's some more digital effects in this one too, including a black mask that comes through the door across the top of the screen and into the girl medium lady.
I'm assuming that that's the...
That's the demon.
The demon, yeah.
The demon, supposedly. Which, of course, they sick Bad Ben on because the demon broke his toy. There are too many questions to provide too many answers when it comes to this. It's
There's more questions
basically...
than there is answers.
And sometimes, there's even like a Slender Man reference. Remember, what the heck is that? Yeah. There's a Slender Man reference which makes no sense whatsoever.
This movie didn't make no sense.
Well, I understand what he was trying to do. The man was trying to make money, and even says at the beginning, "This is for the fans." But I think also there's a couple of times when, especially with Steelmanville Road at the beginning, when it's talking about the footage being found and everything, it pops up in a thing. It's like some of this footage has been altered to represent the dramatic. What? Did you say you altered the footage for dramatic purpose?
Yeah.
And that's not exactly the way it works. I don't want people writing in the comments. Oh, that's not my comment troll, right? When it comes down to it, it just gets messier as it goes along. Bad Ben is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. The attempt to make more
it's bad.
Just weighs it down. Bad Ben by itself, and it has a good premise. Bad Ben is a great premise in the beginning.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to Steelmanville Road, you're like, what?
Wow. And then you get to Batter Ben, and it's like...
And Batter Ben was a better movie than Steelmanville Road. Well, I'm just saying, okay, look, they're bad. They're all bad. We're just saying. Point is, Batter Ben, I've got to give it to Nigel Bach.
Yes, Nigel.
I've got to give it to Nigel Bach.
He tried.
He tried excellently. The first movie for $300 in his own house, on a cell phone, and then just the cameras in the house, was amazing. It was really good, but at the same time, I'm not sugarcoating it. It was still a bad movie.
Yeah.
What?
So the house is actually his?
Yeah, that's Nigel Bach's house.
That's a nice house.
It's a nice house.
Very nice house.
Yeah, the floor is creaky.
Yeah,
I don't like the floor.
But the house is awesome.
Yeah, very, very well made house. Very nice house. Point is, Bad Ben.
It's bad.
The whole bad thing.
Yeah.
And we aren't even talking about the last movie, which is Mandela Effect, and we will talk about that at a later time, of course. So, what are you going to rate it?
All three of them, or just all together, or just separate?
Let's just rate the trilogy as 1.
Trilogy is 1. I want to put that as a 1 bad CGI effect.
1 blurry ghost.
Yes.
What it is? Actually, it's 2 blurry ghosts.
2 blurry ghosts.
We'll call it 1. I really don't.
It's hard to...
I'm going to give it... I'll tell you what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 2 because technically we got 2 Jersey Devils now because we got the Beast and Bad Ben. And
I will say this: whenever it shows the Beast in Batter Ben, he actually looked a lot better than the prequel because you actually saw him more.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know what to say on that one. Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, with all the Jersey Devil in it, I had to give it something. Because anybody that knows me knows I love me my Jersey Devils.
Yeah, Jersey Devils are cool.
I was thinking about the hockey team, but... So, everybody, that was Bad Ben. Hope everybody watches all 3 movies. And then make sure to include Mandela Effect in there. Once again, Anyway, if you want to see these, you can check them out on Amazon Prime. Not to worry, folks, we are not forgetting Tubi TV. That's Tubi TV. See how to get a plug in there? So they wouldn't forget us, because we really need the sponsorship. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope everybody is having a great couple of weeks. We took a couple of weeks off, back a little ways. Now, this just happened, but you probably won't be seeing this video for another month. So I had to go out of town and do some stuff.
Yeah.
I came back, had to do some stuff for work, had a couple of days off, just did not want to do a dang thing. But I want to give shout outs to everybody that left comments. Last Shoegazer, been put out some nice videos. Horrific Nightmare, still watching you, buddy.
Yeah.
Still want to say hi to everybody else. You guys are great. Hope everything's fun. By the way, check out Mixer if you guys have an Xbox One or an Xbox One S. Mixer is something that you get for free, and I recently started live streaming kind of late at night. I'm going to try to do it a little bit earlier in the evening on my days off, but I just did, like I was telling Prime here about, I did a 2-hour stream of Resident Evil 1 Remake, and it was basically like me showing you how not to play Resident Evil. But got 3 people were watching, and if you're one of those 3 people, thank you for watching my stream. We are trying to just branch out, do a lot of different things here. So, anyway, this is House of Grey Rabbit. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, seeing you.